Hi everyone, my name is Teen and I am the musician slash pianist working with dancer and choreographer Anna Hewlett on a piece that will be premiering May 19th at the Opera House here in Boston. I have decided to title my work within that collaboration For the Odettes. And for those who are familiar with that name, will know that my inspiration comes from Swan Lake. I was a rehearsal pianist for that ballet work recently, and I remember fondly sitting behind the piano playing these beautiful Tchaikovsky phrases, melodies, and textures that he is known for, and then looking over at these gorgeous dancers exuding such elegance, displaying sheer physicality, grace, and breath that is required in this piece. It was a remarkable process for me, especially since I did not come into ballet and dance accompanying until late in my life. So coming into contact with such serious repertoire and literature has allowed me to understand the relationship between movements and music better. And surely this work has so much life and so much to experience. It also has so much tragedy. And the one thing I think I just could not accept while working Swan Lake was the narrative, the story of it. The hero of Swan Lake, in my opinion, is Odettes. And she is Swan and she is human. I felt that essentially her fate was controlled by two men. One who used her identity to limit her potential and to do his bidding. The other one who controlled her with words, with emotions, controlled her heart, and eventually betrayed her trust. Now I know that in some ballet renditions, it does not result in death. But even if it did not end in death, there are still some issues regarding the story arc of it. And it felt unfair to see, especially since as a pianist working from the beginning of the ballet, knowing her and falling in love, with this character, and then seeing that her worth of life was controlled by these narratives that she had no control over. And I wanted to create a reality for her where she was able to have control in managing her destiny and her fate. And so even before Anna and I collaborated this inception of Odettes overcoming these bonds to these two men was something that I wanted to pursue. Now stories are stories, right? But sometimes the truth within these stories can affect the way how we see life. It can also help us change our perspective. And Swan Lake will be always a wonderful piece of work. But I feel like for it to be a viable artistic work, I think it has to be rectified in terms of character development. Now let's go on to the musical part of the video. I was most touched, I think, in Act 1, where I felt like I saw Odette at her pinnacle. At the end of Act 1, I think this is a moment where these swans are moving forward. Her community of friends are moving forward on stage, sort of introducing themselves, and then it comes time for Odette to announce herself, and she comes down at a diagonal, and what happens after are these execution of, I think, very high passe steps that almost, when done well, look like that the dancer is flying, is that she's an actual swan. And the music from that is so glorious and is so captivating, and it's very hopeful because anyway, let me play this. And so I have transfigured that motive into my piece to help support Anna's choreography, and I did it as an homage to Odettes and to Tchaikovsky as well. We'll see you May 19th at the Opera House.